Uta here with a mixed bouquet. This is actually a vine called Thunbergia, and I think the variety was called African Sunset. I've got a red yarrow, and these are asters that you had seen along with some of my pink zinnias and white chrysanthemums. And this is really about leaves. I'm going to read my book all about leaves because I believe that I have, oh, that's kind of nice. I have figured out how to turn things around, and so it makes sense to read the book all about leaves. Now, um, uh, I clicked on this thing called autoflip, and so I'm hoping that it will work. It doesn't look that way to me now, but this is my book all about leaves, which I wrote under the pen name Leah Utsira, the same pen name as With My Heart, Your Heart. And again, illustrated with my photographs. Here's my wash tub with rainwater in it and some fall leaves that are floating. Uh, yes, and this is a science book, and this is what I would really wish to be doing um, with this time of my life as a retired early grade science teacher. But we have to get the truth out about the cross sex mutilation, cross sex trait modification cult. And that's also going to have to be a focus. So, all three books, the In the Curated Woods, True Tales from a Grass Widow, as well as My Heart, Your Heart, and All About Leaves, are available in uh, ebook form, like on Kindle, with the photographs, and also as a soft cover. In most places in the world, iUniverse is a pretty widespread self publishing group. And so, um, I've understood that people in the UK and other places can actually get the soft cover. Okay, so All About Leaves by Leah Utsira. What do leaves do? Leaves have many jobs. These leaves are on a plant called lady's mantle. They're green. Do you see the raindrops stay on top? The leaves on this plant are also green with white edges. The plant is a vine called vinca. Do you see how it stayed green even in winter? Leaves are remarkable. There are so many things to observe about leaves. The leaves here are not green. These maple leaves are yellow. In summer, they were green. In autumn, when the days grow shorter and the air was colder, they changed color. Let's see. Did I skip a page? Children always remind you if you skipped a page. Okay. These long, narrow leaves have another job. There they are, the snowdrops poking through. I think I can get it in focus. They poke holes and grow up through the papery brown carpet of dried fallen leaves. They are the earliest spring flowers and sometimes come up when snow is still on the ground. These plants are snowdrops. You've seen pictures of these on my community posts. The flower buds have set, soon to open into little white flowers. New leaves are poking through again. Little flowers have started blooming. That's what they look like. They're so cute. And the little tiny green parts inside. The leaves absorb the sunlight and grow the snowdrops bigger. The roots of snowdrops grow bigger too. The energy of the sun travels down to the little bulbs through the leaves and stems to make more. That's because they uh, uh, grow, they increase through the roots, also through seeds. Snowdrops are spreading all over. That was in my backyard. The narrow leaves capture the energy from the sun. The snowdrops grow and spread. Oh, this is a favorite. This reminds me of our levitating leaf. This is a maple leaf in winter. It froze in the water. When leaves freeze, they break down. The water expands when it freezes, and that breaks down the cells of the leaves. Later, it will completely break down and become soil, like the soil that's growing my tomato jungle. That's exactly what I collected to grow those tomatoes in. Light shines on and through leaves. This plant is a wild geranium called Herb Robert. Light from the sun is absorbed by leaves. Light is energy. The leaves take the energy into the leaf colors in pigment cells or color cells. What happens is photosynthesis. This is the vocabulary we should be teaching children. Trees grow taller. I think this is it might be my oak, just turning, my central oak. Leaves grow taller from the sun's energy that the leaves have, trees grow taller from the sun's energy that the leaves have captured and transformed. The stems and branches and tree trunks are there growing because of the leaves. In photosynthesis, light shines on the leaves' pigment cells, and the light is converted to energy for the plant or tree to grow. Aha! Now we come to moss. This is moss. Moss is green and it grows. It also takes sunlight to grow, but moss does not have leaves. It is not a vascular plant. Moss is like a carpet of green stems that look like leaves, but are not. The one that doesn't belong in the category is always useful in teaching science. Lavender has gray-green leaves. They have a strong smell. Some leaves, like mint, basil, and parsley, have a distinctive fragrance. You can smell it on your fingers after rubbing and crushing the leaves in your hands. The leaves of ferns have another job. Ferns do not grow flowers or make seeds. New ferns grow from spores on the leaves. Spores are tiny bumps that develop on the underside of the fern leaves. They will grow into new fern plants. And I didn't have any ferns with the spores underneath to demonstrate with a picture. Maybe I do now, though. I have a lot more ferns. Many trees drop their leaves in fall. They go dormant for the cold winter. This means they do not take energy from their leaves or grow during the cold season. Trees that drop their leaves and go dormant are called deciduous trees. Again, good vocabulary for children. There is another kind of tree that stays green in winter. This kind of tree is coniferous or a conifer. We also call them evergreens. They have narrow needles for leaves. These needles collect sunlight for energy to grow, the same as deciduous or broadleaf trees. And I think that's a little spruce that I transplanted after finding its little tiny sapling. I planted it out into the woods. The big tree here is an oak. That's my central oak. The leaves are starting to change from green to yellow in early autumn. As the leaves fall, more light shines through the trees. Isn't that interesting? In winter, my woods is lighter, even though the days are shorter. As the leaves fall, more light shines through the woods. When leaves are green and thick in the middle of summer, the woods are dark and mysterious. The leaf cover at the tops of the trees is called the canopy, like a tent. Oak trees provide acorns as food to animals in the forest. We must take care of our oaks, our mighty oaks. This is an oak leaf in the fall. You'll notice that they do not decompose as fast as maple leaves and beech leaves and other broadleaves. That is because of the minerals and so on and their structure, but they are very valuable because of that. This big brown leaf has veins going from the tips into the center. Through these veins flows the energy the leaf has captured from the sun. Oak leaves break down or decompose into very rich soil after falling from the tree. We call leaves that have become soil leaf mulch, or compost. This return to earth to become soil completes the cycle of spring growth, summer sun capture, autumn color change, and winter dormancy. This is why I wanted to write the book, because a lot of these science books for children either overwhelm them with too many terms and not enough demonstration of the meaning, or they have kind of baby terms that children are capable of doing a little bit higher work. Seeds from the trees can fall and start growing right where the leaves fell before. Leaves fall and become the soil for the next generation of trees. Growing new trees is also one of the jobs of leaves. And there's what I call the wedding cake in my woods, because there are layers of rock and the leaves stay there like a kind of icing on the various layers. Leaves catch sunlight. Now you know all about leaves. And I would even say to the students when I'm, doing these studies that now you are experts. And I wanted to write a book about flowers and all the different forms, that flowers have, where you can see actually how this Thunbergia, for example, has this structure. And after the flower is gone, that will be a seed pod. And these were grown from seed. This is a lovely story. The white mums. I probably never would have just chosen these, but there's this cemetery not far from me where I root around, pun intended, in their garbage. And I found and this was in the fall, a few years ago, I found a chrysanthemum that I didn't even know what color it was, but I rescued it. I call it my orphans, my chrysanthemum orphans. And I planted it in my front yard in a garden area I call the hexagon, because I've got a hexagonal boundary, a little fence around it. And then it happened in 2019. I came back from my first visit to my mother in that year described in My Heart, Your Heart, and that was blooming. I came back, it must have been in late September of 2018. I was just first visiting her in the place that they put her illegally. They shouldn't have done that. They should have let her stay at home. But I felt that it was symbolic that this white chrysanthemum was blooming, and I didn't know the color of it. And now I've divided it. Chrysanthemums are easy to increase by division. You just get some root material from the bottom, stick that into some good soil, either directly out in the garden or in a pot. And often as not, they will go ahead and grow. So do take care of yourself, grow the flowers, and count the butterflies.